I want to log on. I want to log into YouTube so that I make sure I'm not making terrible mistakes with the positioning of my camera, the sound of my microphone, all of that stuff. Here we go. I'm live. Good deal. I'm just going to wait. Okay, I do need to position my camera. That was good that I looked because I wouldn't have known. Okay. Those of you who jumped in here early, apologies. This is just the way it is with me. I don't have a good studio. I'm not techie. I don't have an assistant. All I have is decaffeinated coffee, and we all know how decaffeinated coffee will let you down when you most need it. I'm going to be telling some jokes today, but I'm going to be talking about some other stuff too. So I'm going to open up a tab because I want to tell a story about a place I remember from my childhood. Oh my goodness. I was young when this happened. That's crazy. Okay, I'm assuming my microphone is working. It's clipped right here. Going to be doing the unthinkable today when I tell my jokes. I'm going to put a little check mark next to the ones I've read. Oops, I accidentally turned way, way forward. Ooh, how fun. I remember reading about the village idiot. I heard a joke recently. Senator Kennedy from Louisiana told it. And he said, I'm not going to say he's the stupidest person in the world, but he'd better hope the stupidest person in the world doesn't die. Okay. I was too dumb to understand this joke that I told yesterday. The joke is, it's in Village Idiot. That's the chapter. It says, of course, our town had a village idiot too. He could never watch Jeopardy unless it came with subtitles. And I don't get it. Maybe because Jeopardy is 100% visual, so you don't need subtitles. No, I guess it isn't because I don't know. Anyway, I don't get it. Maybe someone can explain it to me in the chat. Is anybody in the chat? Let me see. Nobody's in the chat. There's nobody who can help me. Yikes. Hey, staying off the grid. Thank you. I appreciate that. Staying off the grid says fantastic gay outfit and has a little smiley face and then says, look, everyone, it's a homosexual. Look at the gay lady. Oh, goodness. How long have you been gay? Staying off the grid is asking. Okay, well, as much as I would love to keep you in my chat, I don't like 12-year-old boys being in my chat because I really feel like that's going against their parents' wishes. I think most of these 12 and 13-year-old boys should really get their parents' permission to be on the computer. So I don't want to be the reason why some little kid gets in trouble. So I just usually block the little 12-year-old, 13-year-old prepubescent boys when they come into my chat. Henny Youngman said, our village idiot locked his keys in the car. It took him an hour and a half to get his wife out. Got to put a little mark by that one. Okay, these are dad jokes, but they're from the 1940s. Hey, Kit Les, whatever your name is, I'm yapping about jokes. I'm telling jokes. So there. If you don't like my yapping, you are not going to like my channel. I can tell you that right now. I do a lot of yapping. Okay, I told that joke. All right, town drunk. I talked about the town drunk yesterday. Sorry, guys. I've got to find a place I haven't told the jokes yet. I'll retell this one. Our town had a great town drunk. They built a monument to our town drunk. It's a beautiful bronze statue that's lying in the park. Oh gosh, that's when I told the story about my grandpa falling down drunk. Oh goodness. And we talked about people who eat shaving lotion. Let's see. I think we're done with that one. Oh, we did grouchy neighbors. I think I'll just cross off neat neighbors and grouchy neighbors. Pretty sure we did both of those. Mostly about women being really mean neighbors. Tough neighborhood. We did tough neighborhood already. Guy, I've done a lot of these jokes, you guys. I apologize for not preparing for this. King of the road. I know we did some of those. I'm going to cross off automobiles. This is boring. Nice for you guys to stay in here, even though this is so boring. 5 people watching. Hello. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Oh, driver license jokes. Told those yesterday. Bad drivers. I have not done bad drivers. Okay, are we ready for the first joke from Bad Driver? Hey, Fred. Yeah, right. Stay in there. And by the way, while you're in there, kid, clean it. Right? Your son, right, Fred? Definitely had. Hello, Oscar. Hi. Your son probably had a really messy closet. He needed to be in the closet to clean it up. Okay, bad drivers. This is by Milton Berle. One day, my wife drove up the side of a building and hit another woman driving down. Okay. These are going to be heavy on the bad drivers, women bad drivers. Woody Allen said, "Whenever I rent a car in order to cut down on the mileage rate, I back up everywhere." Okay. Apologize for the hair thing. I keep forgetting to trim my bangs, you guys. A wife told her husband, "Be an angel and let me drive." He did, and he is. That was by Milton Berle. Apparently, she's a bad driver. Dave Barry said, "My wife doesn't stop for red lights anymore. She says, if you've seen one or two, you've seen them all." Welcome back to the jokes, Dave Barry. We saw you yesterday. You had a pretty good joke. Hello, Max and May. I'm doing really well this morning, you guys, considering I have only 1 cup of decaf in me so far. I have to drink about 6 cups of decaf to get the caffeine of 1 regular cup of coffee. Never lend your car to anyone to whom you have given birth. Irma Bombeck said that. Irma was hilarious. I've got Irma Bombeck's book over there. I'm going to be reading it soon to you guys. My wife called me. She said, "There's water in the carburetor." I said, "Where's the car?" She said, "In the lake." That's by Henny Youngman. Oh no. Okay. The best way to stop the noise in the car is to let her drive. That was by Milton Berle. Oh, Milton. This one's by Phyllis Diller. This is not a one-liner, it's definitely a three-liner, but here we go. This book, by the way, is called The Little Giant Encyclopedia of One-Liners. It's a whole bunch of jokes by Jean Parrott with Terry Martin. And it's from 1999, but the jokes are much older. The jokes go back to the probably 50s and 60s. Fang is a typical husband. That's what Phyllis Diller called her husband, Fang. When I drive, he complains about every telephone pole I hit. But does he ever compliment me on the ones I miss? Okay. I told that joke very poorly. I apologized for that. I could use a few thumbs up, you guys. That'd be awesome. I know these jokes are bad, but they are one-liners and they are dad jokes. Okay, Kit, you're back. You're crying. Best joke. Why did the chicken cross the road to get away from you? Chambers, you're so right, because I'm the one with the hatchet. Oh, KFC was on. Yeah, definitely. The chicken does not like KFC. No, it doesn't. My wife, these are not attributed. These are just a bunch of jokes that are not attributed. So I have a feeling Jean Parrott and Terry Martin wrote them. My wife is such a bad driver that when she goes into the garage, the car puts its tailpipe between its legs. When my wife drives, the little statue climbs off the dashboard and crawls into the glove compartment. There's a statue on the dashboard? What car would that be? A statue on the dashboard? These are old jokes, you guys. One day I came home complaining about the car. I said, "Do you know that's the third clutch I've had to replace?" My wife said, "Don't blame me. I never use it." Oh, oh my goodness. My uncle is a maniac on the freeways. He only gets about 6 miles to the cuss word. The other day, my uncle honked at 12 cars, shook his fist at 7, made obscene gestures at 4, and cursed at 3. And he hadn't pulled out of the driveway yet. That's really sad. The way people drive today, half of them should be pulled over by police, and the other half should be pulled over by their psychiatrists. Okie dokie. Thank you to the 3 who have hung out this long. Only one left. Oh my goodness. Whoever you are, God bless you. Driving changes people. Everybody on the road today is a regular Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Goodwrench. Whatever that means. I've actually seen drivers roll down their windows and curse passing motorists from the cars that were being towed. Okay. Years ago, you had to roll down your window to curse a passing motorist. Nowadays, you can call him on your car phone or your cell phone. Car phones were before cell phones, just so you know. They were very expensive as well. I saw a guy drive right through a red light the other day, and the guy behind him got angry because he didn't drive through it fast enough. I fumbled that one badly. I haven't pre-read these. Some people treat driving as a means of transportation. Others can I start over? Some people treat driving as a means of transportation. Others consider it a contact sport. It may be the fault of the car manufacturers. Too many drivers take the term bumpers literally. Driving today is America's last surviving form of guerrilla warfare. The way some people drive, it seems they should put on war paint before turning on the ignition. Now, I don't know why these are all about really bad drivers, although my husband does seem to encounter a lot of bad drivers when he's out on the road. I don't, which means he's paying attention and I'm not. Apparently, when I'm driving somewhere, I just don't pay attention because I probably see 1/10 the amount of bad drivers that he does, or he's just way too focused on what other people are doing. Many people drive simply to get where they're going. Others drive for revenge. Not really sure what that means. We should have stayed with horseback as the predominant means of transportation. At least with horses, we didn't have to put up with obnoxious bumper stickers. Are those even still a thing? It seems today that road courtesy went out with running boards. We have running boards. Well, do we? Yeah, we have running boards on one of our vehicles. We all hate aggressive drivers. They're the ones who try to get back at us after we cut them off. Road rage. I know one driver who gets on the road and immediately pulls into the fast lane, whether there's another car there or not. That's dangerous. The way some people drive the car is not considered an automobile, it's considered an accomplice. Okay, I got to get out of these car jokes because they're just one after another. It's really bad. Going to get out of traffic. I don't want to read about traffic. I don't want traffic tickets. Anybody? Traffic tickets. Okay, I'll do a few tickets. Not very many. Gary Shandling. Okay, there's someone you guys know, right? Gary Shandling. Oh gosh, these gray hairs. I wish I could sell them. I'd be a millionaire. I got a jaywalking ticket, which is the dumbest ticket of all. I said, "Is this going to go on my record, or can I go to walking school and have this taken off?" Okay, Gary, it's a misdemeanor and doesn't go on your record, but okay. Well, I guess it kind of does, doesn't it? For a short period of time. Stephen Wright. I went to court for a parking ticket. I pleaded insanity. Toady Fields. I have never heard of Toady Fields. Who is Toady Fields? Anybody in the chat? No? Okay. You know it's time to go on a diet when you're standing next to your car and get a ticket for double parking. Yikes. Okay, here's one by Bill Cosby. I know Bill Cosby has an extremely bad reputation, but when this book was published, he was not known for what he eventually is known for. In my glove compartment, I have 10 moving violation citations, which are like savings bonds. The longer you keep them, the more they mature. Yeah. Okay. These are not attributed. I'm only going to read a couple because I'm not really liking all these moving violation traffic driving things. I get so many tickets so fast that I had to replace my glove compartment with a filing cabinet. Oh gosh. I've got a master's degree from traffic school. Okay, that's all I'm going to hang out there. I do like true crime. I watch a lot of true crime. I mostly put in my earbud and I put my phone in my pocket. And while I'm doing my chores and all, I just listen to it. Hello to the 12 of you in here. Could somebody give me a thumbs up if you like jokes? I wonder where my luggage went. Okay. Ooh, this will lead to a story. If you look like your passport photo, you're too ill to travel. Oh gosh. Okay, Will Coman, and I don't know who that is. Travel is very educational. I can now say kaopectate in 7 different languages. Bob Hope. For those of you who don't know, kaopectate is an antidiarrheal. Irma Bombeck said, actually, I'm an advocate of separate vacations, the children's and ours. I've taken my youngest daughter on a couple of vacations, one to Africa, one when we rode motorcycles around the western and southwestern United States. She's a great travel companion. No complaints there. They spell it Vinci and pronounce it Vinci. Foreigners always spell better than they pronounce. Mark Twain. I know about that. I knew a man who knew Mark Twain. Said he took long naps. Pretty much slept the day away. I traveled to China. Boy, there ought to be a law against making all ocean that wide. Will Rogers. Apparently he traveled by boat. Maybe he flew. That is a long trip. Well, it depends on where you're leaving from. Maybe from New York, it's a long trip. She was so ugly that customs wouldn't let her enter the country without a crate. Oh, that's rude. Milton Berle. Yeah, Milton Berle. Okay. I was going to tell a travel story, but I don't know if I'm going to, you guys. 4 people watching. I don't think I'm going to tell a travel story. There's really nothing about losing your luggage. I lost my luggage in Africa. I spent the first week of my 2 weeks with no luggage. It was quite a trip. But that's okay because I always travel with an extra pair of clothes. I was able to wash the clothes, let's say Tuesday. I washed the clothes that I wore on Tuesday night. If we had water at the place we were staying, it was hard to get water sometimes. I'd wash them in the sink, and then I would hang them to dry all day Wednesday, and I would wear my other clothes Wednesday. Tuesday night, of course, I would shower. Then I would put on Wednesday's clothes. I had no pajamas. I would put on, wait a minute, Tuesday night. Wednesday, oh God. I would put on the damp clothes because we were in the rainforest. It was very damp. I would put on the damp clothes Wednesday night that I had washed Tuesday night, and I would sleep in them. Overnight, they would dry. And then my clothes from Wednesday would be hanging up to dry. That's what I did every day for a week. And then when I got my clothes, because my husband had to drive to the city, back to the city, and try to find our luggage. We all three of us lost our luggage. Me, my husband, and my daughter. They lost all three of our suitcases with all our clothes in them. None of us had clothes, but because I had lost my luggage because I had traveled once without luggage because I thought I was just going there for the day or maybe for an overnight. I learned to always carry an extra pair of clothes, always take extra underwear, take your toothbrush, toothpaste, everything in your carry-on bag. So I learned that at a young age after having an issue where I ended up a week in a place where I thought I was only going to be one day when I was 15 in the jungle in Guatemala. So I learned that. So we all packed extra clothes in our carry-on and everything that was necessary. My husband had medication. I said, you have to pack that in your carry-on. Trust me. And so he did. And because he did, he had his medication. That was good. Okay. If the Lord had wanted people to fly, he would have made it simpler for people to get to the airport. By Milton Berle. Henny Youngman said, I don't fly on account of my religion. I'm a devout coward. Okay, there you go. Thank you to those of you who have given me a thumbs up if you have. I cannot tell. My computer doesn't show any, so I apologize if you've been giving me thumbs up and I can't see them. Flying is so expensive these days. I took an economy flight. There wasn't any movie, but they flew low over the drive-ins. That was by Red Buttons. Red Buttons was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm not going to be reading anymore. The hotels. Here we go. What a hotel. What a hotel. The towels were so big and fluffy, you could hardly close your suitcase. It's by Henny Youngman. Herb Schreiner said, there was only one hotel in my hometown. It wasn't much, but at least it had a bridal suite. It was the room with the lock on the door. Okay. Milton Berle. My hotel room was so small, every time I put the key in the lock, I broke the window. Oh gosh. My hotel room was so small, I couldn't brush my teeth sideways. Also by Milton Berle. I once had a hotel room that was so small that it had removable doorknobs just in case you wanted to bend over. Fred Allen told that joke. Hotels are getting bigger and bigger. I called for room service at one of them, and my meal arrived by UPS. That's unattributed. Nowadays, we have DoorDash, don't we? I've never used DoorDash. I wouldn't even know how. And I can't imagine doing it. I'm not much of a, yeah, I couldn't imagine. Why am I so low in the picture? I thought I had this thing up. This is awful. I apologize, you guys. Some of the hotels are too big. It's annoying to have to carry your passport every time you want to go down to the lobby. That's a big hotel. I live in a town like that. We have a state line between us, not a country line, a state line between us. So I'm in Tennessee, but Virginia is right over there. I went to one hotel and just wanted to stay overnight. They wouldn't let me. They said that wouldn't give me enough time to get to my room. Okay, that's a big hotel. All right, these are boring. Let's move on. Restaurants near and far. Henny Youngman. Last night I ordered an entire meal in French, and even the waiter was surprised. I was in a Chinese restaurant. Rodney Dangerfield. My split personality is getting worse. Yesterday I ate in a restaurant alone and asked for 2 checks. You need to look up Rodney Dangerfield if you don't know who he is. I once crossed a waiter with a tiger. I don't know what I got, but I tip him big? I don't get that. I'm gonna check it off and say that I've told the joke, but I don't get that. Phyllis Diller said Fang took me to a restaurant that he said was secluded. That means the Board of Health can't find it. Okay, thanks to those of you who are in here. I appreciate you hanging out. I was arrested today for scalping low numbers at the deli. I don't know what that means. Stephen Wright. I don't know what that means. I was arrested today for scalping low numbers at the deli. Can someone explain that to me? I was arrested today for scalping low numbers at the deli. Nope. Phyllis Diller said, I've been trying to get my husband to take me out to dinner for so long that when he finally said yes, I couldn't eat. I don't know what that means. A holdup man walks into a Chinese restaurant and he says, give me all your money. The man says, to go? That was by Slappy White. Slappy White's not very funny. Milton Berle, I was in a restaurant. I called the waitress over and said, this coffee isn't fit for a pig. She said, oh, I'll take it away and bring you some that is. Good for her. I like that waitress. All right, you guys, I'm done telling jokes. This has been a short one, I think. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm starting to have an asthma issue, and I don't want to be coughing and doing all of the things that I do when I'm having an asthma attack. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. I don't have a story to tell. I wanted to tell a story about something that happened when I was a little girl. It's just a little history of our county where I grew up. But my asthma is starting to get bad. So I'm going to say bye-bye. Thank you so much for being here. And definitely check out my short videos and all that that's in the sign on the back behind my chair. It's for our pet sitter slash house sitter. It just says, we are expecting packages today. Please put them in the front bedroom and close the door. My dog eats packages. My dog that's right here. She eats packages if we leave them sitting around. Like, people mail us packages, right? And if we leave them somewhere where she can find them, she eats them. She's down here stretching right now. All right, you guys, you have a great day. God bless you. And I will see you in the next one.